The fairy tale of the magic lantern and Boy Lee. Welcome to the Painting by Numbers channel. Today we are painting a festive winter landscape with a temple decorated with red lanterns shining in the night sky in honor of the Chinese New Year. But before we begin, I want to tell you a special fairy tale about Boy Lee and his magical New Year experience. Once upon a time, in a small village among mountains and rivers, there lived a boy named Lee. He was curious and kind, always helped his family with the housework and dreamed of something special for every Chinese New Year. Everyone in the village knew Lee as an extremely sincere and kind boy, and therefore his dreams seemed to them something extraordinary. Every year, the village came alive with bright colors as people prepared for the celebration. Red lanterns were hung in every house, symbolizing happiness and prosperity. People prepared the most delicious dishes, set off fireworks, and had big festive dinners. It was a time of unity, joy, and hope for the future. This year, Lee dreamed of a magic lantern that his grandfather had told him about. According to legend, every new year, an old craftsman would come to the mountains to create one and only magic lantern. This lantern could fulfill the most sincere wish of someone with a pure heart and good intentions. Lee was convinced that this year he would find that craftsman and receive the lantern. On New Year's Eve, Lee decided to make his dream come true. He put on a warm cloak, took some food and water with him, and set off on a long journey into the mountains. The winter was cold, snow covered everything around, but that didn't stop him. He walked through the forest, listening to the rustle of snow under his feet and admiring the beauty of the winter landscape. On the way, Lee met many people. They were all preparing for the celebration and invited him to stay, but Lee politely refused, explaining that he had an important mission. He shared his plans and dreams, and people wished him success, admiring his perseverance and strength of spirit. One day in the forest, Lee saw some forest animals looking for food under a thick layer of snow. Despite his own difficulties, he shared his food with them. This act further strengthened his determination and belief that kindness always comes back in kind. After several days of traveling, Lee finally reached the top of the mountain. There, in a snowy clearing, he saw an old craftsman working on his lantern. The craftsman noticed Lee and, smiling, asked, "What brings you here, young friend?" Lee sincerely spoke about his wish for his family to always be happy and healthy, and his dream for all people to find peace and harmony in their homes. The master listened attentively and saw in the boy not only sincerity, but also a big heart. "Your wish is extremely good and sincere," said the master. "You are worthy of this magic lantern." He handed Lee the lantern, which lit up with a soft red light, as if welcoming its new owner. Lee thanked the master and set off back to the village. When the boy returned home, his family was already waiting for him impatiently. They were happy that Lee had returned safely and listened with interest to his story about the old master and the magic lantern. They all gathered around the lantern, and each made his most cherished wish. The lantern glowed with a warm light, filling their hearts with joy and hope. Since then, the lantern has become the main symbol of happiness and unity in their home. Every year on Chinese New Year, the Lee family lights it, remembering the importance of love, harmony, and kindness. People from all over the village come to their house to see the magic lantern and share their dreams. The legend of the magic lantern and the Boy Lee spread far beyond their village. People from other villages and towns came to see this amazing symbol and hear the story of the boy who, with his kind heart, deserved such a special gift. The fairy tale reminded everyone of the importance of sincerity, kindness, and strength of spirit. It taught that real magic is not in things, but in human hearts. And every year, lighting the lantern, the Lee family and other villagers remembered that happiness and harmony begin with simple but sincere desires and actions. Over time, this tradition became part of the culture of their village. All the children knew about Lee and his magic lantern, and each of them dreamed of one day finding their own path to happiness and kindness. The village became famous far beyond its borders, and people came from all corners to touch this magic. Once a group of travelers from a distant city came to the village. They had heard about the legend and wanted to see the magic lantern with their own eyes. Lee was happy to meet them and tell them his story. The travelers were impressed by his sincerity and kindness and decided to stay in the village to learn from Lee and his family. The tale of Lee and his magic lantern became an integral part of the culture of their village and inspired many people to do good deeds and be sincere in their hearts. It reminded everyone that even the smallest acts of kindness can change the world and make it a better place for everyone.